haircuts this year. That guy's going to pay me $300. But he's going to stay with me for 10 years. That guy is now worth $3,000. But wait a minute. He hasn't bought any take-home hair care product yet. He hasn't bought any add-on services yet. And he hasn't sent me any of his friends. What's a new customer worth? A referral from a happy customer is gold. You send me one, I'll cut you for nothing. You send me one, I'll cut you for nothing. Don't make it complicated. Give it away. Free is magical. Free will do things for you. Are you with me?
Yep.
Are we ready to move on? One of the most important R's we're ever going to talk about. Let's pick a color. This one's going to be brown. All right? I got to clear a little bit of room here to do the math. But if you can master this one, if you can figure out this R will build more business for you than anything else you will ever do. If you can do this one simple thing, you will be in the top 10% of earners in the entire professional beauty industry, and any one of us can do it. The next R we're going to look at is R rebooking. Here's how rebooking works. You get them on the appointment book before they leave the shop. We cut your hair today, we cut your hair a little bit shorter. It's going to be a 4-week haircut. I'm getting busier due to people like you sending their friends and their referrals. It's the 17th, right before Christmas, December 17th. It's going to be Thursday, 3:30. Does that work for you? That's it. Get them on the book. It's not that complicated. If you're fully booked and busy, if you're 80-80, people will ask you, yo, dude, you cut my hair. I got to get in before Christmas. Get me in the book, 17th, 3:30, okay? If you're busy, they will ask you to rebook. If you're not busy, you're going to ask them. You've got to rebook customers. You have to explore and understand the power of the math of rebooking. You cut somebody's hair every 6 weeks. How many times you cut them in a year? 52 weeks in a year. 6 divided into 52. 6 times 8 is 48. We'll call it 8. You cut them 8 times a year. How much you get for a haircut? Let's say you get $100. How much money do you take from this woman in a year? 6 weeks, 8 haircuts, times $100 a haircut. This woman is an $800 customer. That's nice. $800 a year. Plus retail, plus add-on services, plus referrals and all that good stuff. God bless America, it's a hell of a business. And then 2008 happened. In 2008, the economy hit the skids and our industry slowed down. In 2008, we were strangled by a concept called appointment stretching. Traditionally, females in America, salon client visit interval had been running 6.5 weeks for a long, long time. And we were fat and we were happy. We were earning double-digit growth in hair color every single year as baby boomers were running to salons to buy hair color. Things were good. We were happy. We were making money. And then the economy slowed. And we were lazy. And people started appointment stretching. Somebody who had been a 6-week haircut wasn't rebooking. And at week 6, they looked in the mirror and they went, wow, I need to get in with Ivan. They picked up the telephone in week 7, and their appointment landed in week 8. All of a sudden, a 6-week client became an 8-week client. Same exact customer. Now she's coming in every 8 weeks. How many times you cut her in a year? 6. You cut her 6 times a year. Times $100 a haircut equals $600. Now remember, she loves me. She hasn't cheated on me. She hasn't gone anywhere else. I am her hair guy. She is my customer. She loves me. But this year, I will take $200 less from her simply because she gapped out her appointments. That is a loss of 25% of my gross revenue. I was making $800. I'm down to 6. I lost 2. 2 is 25% of 800. Everybody okay on the math?
Yes. What if you plug in somebody?
Hang on. Wait. Time out. That happened all across the nation. That happened throughout our industry. In 2008, the professional beauty industry in America, 2008, 2009, we lost 25% of our gross revenue. We didn't lose any customers. They just started stretching. They started gapping it out. Now, what's your name? Sarah. Sarah works for me at my store. Sarah's a great employee. We're happy to have her. She shows up on time. She does good work. She's nice to our customers. She's a productive asset in our business. Sarah, we love you. We're happy to have you. Sarah comes in to work for me one day, and I say to her, Sarah, you know what? We love having you here. You're a great employee. You come in on time. You do good work. You're good to our customers. our customers love you and appreciate you. So tomorrow, we're going to cut your salary 25%. I got to cut you by 25% starting tomorrow, okay?
Okay.
What are you going to say to me?
I quit.
You're going to say goodbye, you're going to quit. That's right. You're out the door, you're going to go looking for another job. That devastated our industry. That's exactly what happened. Now, flip it around. You've been lazy. You haven't been rebooking. Clients have been running 8 weeks. You wake up one morning and you go, no. This is not acceptable to me. I want to be a top earner in the professional beauty industry. I want to be in the top 10% in my category. I want all the money. Are you with me? Are you a barber? Are you a pirate? You want the gold? Here we go. You're going to rebook. You're going to take that 8-week customer and you're going to have the rebooking conversation with her. You know what? We cut your hair a little shorter on top. You got a little bit of layering, you got a little bit of volume, a little bit of fullness. That's going to grow out. It's going to get heavy. It's going to lay flat on you. You really got to get this cut every 6 weeks. So let's get you back in the book. It'll take you right up till New Year's. We'll get you in on the 28th at 3:30 on Wednesday. Is that good? We're going to rebook her. We're going to take this 8-week customer. We're going to get her down to 6 weeks. That means over the course of a year, we're going to cut her 8 times. Times $100 a haircut equals $800. Now, the woman that was a $600 a year customer has now become an $800 a year customer. That is an increase of $200. $200 on $600 is a 33% increase in gross operating revenue. We haven't advertised a penny. We haven't spent any money. We haven't added one new customer. We've simply tightened up the booking cycle on any and all of our clients. That's one customer. Multiply it by a client base. How many people here have friends or family that have real crappy jobs, where they work outside the beauty industry? Anybody know anybody that has a real job? Anybody that has a real job know anybody that got a raise last year in America? Because raises are back. As the economy has improved for the first time in a couple of years, all of a sudden you read in the business papers, people are getting raises again. Can anybody tell me what was the average raise in corporate America last year in the United States, on average? Last year, the average raise was 3%. That's nice. Thank you very much. I appreciate my 3%. I will give you 33%. I will give you 11 times more than the average guy got, because you're in the professional beauty industry, because we have the opportunity to control our destiny and control our income. Are you with me? Are you a pirate? Are we ready to move on? All right, here's the deal. We're 80% occupied with 80% repeat requests. What percentage of our clients should be rebooking? Take a wild and crazy guess. 80. Thank you. 80% of our customers should be rebooking. It isn't always going to happen. Not everybody can make an appointment today. Not everybody carries their calendar. Most of us have it on the phone. But don't expect 100% rebooking rate. 80 would be awesome. If you are 80% occupied with 80% repeat requests and 80% of your customers are rebooking, you are in the game. You are winning big. And now the magic happens. Anybody want to know what the magic is? Sure? Really? You're going to say sure? What are you going to say? No, you're not going to say of course. Tell them what to say. Arr! Are you with me? You're not going to leave now, are you, dude? This is what you need to hear. All right? The last R we're going to look at, perhaps one of my favorite, is R. When we are 80% occupied with 80% repeat requests, and we're rebooking 80% of our customers, we will R. Raise the price. This is magical. When you are 80% occupied with 80% repeat requests, you are good and people like you. Raise the price. How much do you raise the price?
80%.
No, not 80%. Who said that?
I said 3%.
Oh, okay. No, I thought you said 80. Okay, the answer is 10. 10%. When you are 80% occupied with 80% repeat requests, you raise your price. You can sustain a 10% price increase. When you're 80% occupied with 80% repeat requests, you raise your prices 10%. And here's how it works. If you are lucky, if you are blessed, if the clouds part and the angels sing and God smiles down upon you from heaven above, if you are 80% occupied with 80% repeat requests and you raise your prices 10%, if you are lucky, 10% of your customers will quit you and stop coming to you. Oh my God. Amazing grace. God bless America. Because here's how it works. If you are lucky, you are good, and people like you, you raise your prices 10%. If 10% of your customers quit you, You're still making the exact same amount of money with air in your book, with room for referrals from top 90% customers. Birds of a feather flock together. Top 90% customers have top 90% friends. Dirtbags are friends with dirtbags. That's right. That's the way it works. If they don't buy retail, they don't send their friends, and they don't tip, neither do their friends. You want top 90 referrals. That's the good news. The bad news is, it's probably not going to happen. The bad news is, you're going to be 80% occupied with 80% repeat requests. You're going to raise your prices 10%, and ain't nobody going to quit you. Because you are good, and people like you. And people will find the money. People will make choices about how they spend. Your job is to make people aware of choices. Their job is to choose. Don't spend other people's money. You've got to be thinking about your wallet. Because if you're thinking about their wallet, ain't nobody thinking about your wallet. In our industry, we have something called an income gulf. The income gulf refers to the idea we may have service providers who earn, I don't know, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a year. But they may be cutting hair on a man or a woman who has a household income of $230,000, $240,000, $250,000 a year. What is expensive to one is not expensive to the other. Don't count and spend other people's money. You got to look out for you. Raise your prices. When you raise your prices, how do you raise your prices? You put a sign on the mirror, dear customers, as of June 24th, the price is going up 70 cents. No. What do? You just raise the prices. You don't tell nobody nothing. You just raise the prices. You ever been to the grocery store? You ever gone to buy a gallon of milk? You reach up, you grab the handle on the milk case, and you notice there's a sign. Dear customers, milk is going up 15 cents a gallon Thursday. You ever seen that sign? No. What do? They just change the freaking price. When do they change the price? 3:30 in the morning when you're sleeping. Yeah. They go in there at night when you're sleeping, and they pop the little price off, they put the new tag up there, and they change the price. Gasoline. Now that's a little interesting here, because y'all don't pump gas. Okay? Where I live, we got to pump our own gas. But, you ever been at the gas station? I mean, I'm sitting here, I'm pumping my gas. I got the hose in the car, and the guy's standing out in the corner with the big stick changing the numbers. He's not even waiting for me to go to sleep. He's doing it in the middle of my tank. I don't even know how much I'm paying anymore. And I don't feel bad about it. They just raise the freaking price. Everything goes up. The heat goes up. The rent goes up. The lights go up. College goes up. Cars go up. Haircuts got to go up. Haircuts are cheaper today than they were 30 years ago when I got into the business. Relative to the cost of living, relative to the buying strength of your dollar, haircuts are cheaper today than they were 30 years ago. We have not kept up with inflation. We are not making as much money in our business as we used to. You got to raise prices, and you got to raise everybody. Raise everybody. You don't hold anybody back. There's no grandfathering. You raise everyone for two reasons. You know, there's, I'm going to raise everybody. I'm just going to raise the new people. The old people, I'm going to push back the old price. No, you raise everybody. Well, I'm going to raise everybody, except I'm not going to raise a couple of people. That one lady, I've cut her since beauty school. She's so cute and she's so nice. I'm not going to raise her. Raise them all. Two reasons. Reason number one, you can't keep track of it. You're not smart enough. You're not going to remember who you charged what. And one of those days, she's going to be coming in, you're going to go, gee, I don't remember. Is she an old price client or a new price? I'm going to charge her the old price, because if I charge her the new price, I'll just get her upset. So I'm just going to charge her the old price. And you'll end up giving away stuff you shouldn't give away. Number one. Number two, if you charge people the old price, if you hold people back at the old price, you will begin to resent them. What'll happen is, the first time they come in, oh, you know what, the price is going up. It's 33, it used to be 28, but I'm going to keep you back at the old price. And you'll cut her for 28. That's okay. Second time she comes in, you're going to be cutting her hair at 28. You're going to be thinking, wow, everybody else is 32. This one's 28. I should have raised her. I don't feel as good about doing this one. Third time she comes in, you're going to be pissed. Third time she comes in, you're cutting her hair going, haircuts are 33 and this bitch is paying 28. Well, wait a minute. She didn't do this. You did this. This is your fault. You should have raised her in the beginning. You should have raised everybody at the same time. Now, what about Bob? I always ask, what about Bob? You know Bob. Everybody's got a Bob in their client base. Bob is that guy. He's been unemployed for 4 years. Hasn't had a job in 4 years. You know Bob. His wife died of a brain tumor. You know Bob. Bob's got 3 kids under the age of 3. No wife and no job. Do you raise Bob? Hell yes, you raise Bob. How do you raise Bob, though? Because I'm not totally heartless. I'm not a complete jerk. We're going to raise Bob. How are we going to raise Bob?
5%.
No, we're going to no. Don't have multiple prices, 5%. Everybody goes up. How are you going to raise Bob? It's real simple. Here's the deal, Bob. You know, Bob, I really appreciate your business. I I know it's a bit of a stretch for you. I like cutting your hair. You've been a good customer for a long time. My price is going up. Haircuts used to be 10, now they're going to be 11. I'm going up 10%. But I know you haven't had a job in 4 years. I know Martha died. I know you got 3 kids under the age of 4. Here's the deal. Prices are going up. Next haircut's going to be $11. But today, this one, it's on me. Give it away. Give it away. Most of the time when you give it away, Bob's going to go, no. You ain't giving me a freebie, and Bob will pay you. And then Bob will find the money. People will find the money. People will do what they need to do to find the money to make it work. Or, you know what Bob's going to do? Bob's going to say, no, you can't come. Okay, you know what? I'll take the freebie. And Bob will tip you hard because he feels bad for taking a free haircut. And then he will tell his friends, guy did me a solid, and he will come back. He'll tell his friends and he'll come back. That's all we wanted anyways. Wanted to tell his friends we wanted to come back. Or you know what Bob's going to do? You're going to tell Bob, this one's on me, and Bob's going to go, no, okay, I'll take the freebie, and he'll take the freebie. And then what's he going to do? He's going to find the money, he's going to come back, or he ain't going to come back. And that's okay too, because we can afford to lose him, but we got to raise him. And by offering the free haircut, by doing him solid like that, he will appreciate you and what you've done for him. You got to raise him, you got to raise everybody. Questions?
Yeah.
Yes.
Why hasn't it gone up since?
People are scared.
I think predominantly, I think it's lack of confidence in our business. I think we have some problems out there. We have currently some supply and demand issues. In some areas, the market is saturated. And here's the deal. Yesterday, we did an exercise in how to set haircut pricing. It's a fabulous math. We don't have time to do the whole exercise tonight. I don't want to go into detail on that, but we talked about how do you set your prices. I think people are afraid of the competition. I think people get on the phone and they call 6 barbershops and they find out that the average price in their community for a haircut is $18. And then they go, I gotta be 17. Or they go, the average price in the community is $18. I can't be more than 18. I better be 18. How about the idea that when you find out the average price in the community is 18, how about if you go 23? And how about you figure out how to add value? How to make a unique customer experience, how to create value in the mind of the customer. So somebody goes, you know what, the average in the neighborhood is 18, but I'm going to Ivan. And I don't care that he's 23. Because he's my guy. Because he's good. Because he's fast. Because he's efficient. Because he's got a beautiful shop. Because he sells great product. Because I like the music he plays on the radio. Because I like the magazines in the magazine rack. Or whatever the reasons are. You need to figure out what makes you and your offering unique, special, and different. And you need to have the confidence to raise the prices.
Great.
Our industry lacks confidence in a lot of situations. You don't want to be the cheapest one out there. Walmart created something called the race to the bottom. Something costs $15, Walmart goes to China and gets it and sells it for $13. And then Kmart looks at it and goes, Walmart's $13, I better be $12.50. Then somebody else looks at it, and Myers looks at it and goes, they're $12.50, we better be $11.95. And they work their way down to the bottom. There's always going to be somebody willing to charge less. Don't be that somebody. Be that somebody that's willing to be a little bit better, that's willing to charge a little bit more, that's willing to add a little more value. I get $17 for a haircut in my shop. What do you get for $17? I do 6 haircuts an hour. You don't get a shampoo. You don't get a blow dry. You get 1 haircut, 2 dirty jokes, buy a bottle of gel, and get the hell out of my shop. But at $17, I can't afford to give you more than 10 minutes. You ever seen the price of college? I want to buy a Honda. You ever seen the price of a car?
Yeah.
Stuff costs money. At $17, I cannot afford to give you more than 10 minutes. But it is my responsibility to see to it that at $17, when you get up and leave, you feel that you've received value. Value is defined as the feeling that you got more than you paid. Every customer in my chair needs to feel like the haircut was worth $17.10. The dime is the magic. It's got to feel like that's value. Value is the feeling that you got more than you paid. My haircut at $17 needs to feel like it's worth $17.10. Now, I went to beauty school with a guy. He lives in my neighborhood. His son and my son go to school together. He's going to shop in my community. He gets $182 for a haircut. Yeah, great number, huh? What do you get for $182? Well, it's pretty simple. You drive up to the front of his shop at $182. You open the door to your car, and there's a guy standing there. Can I take your vehicle, please? Who drives your car and parks it for you. You get out of your car and you walk up to the front door of the shop. You reach for the handle on the door, and before you can touch it, the door opens. Because there's somebody that opens the door and says, welcome to the shop. Nice to see you today. Come on in. Somebody else takes you back to his chair, brings you something to drink. Beer, wine, soda. He has a consultation with you. Somebody else walks you back to the shampoo area. Somebody else gives you a 17-minute multiple orgasm shampoo. That alone might be worth the $182. When they're done, somebody else brings you back to his chair. He cuts your hair. Somebody else blows you dry, ladies. Somebody else touches up your makeup. Somebody else takes you up front, sells you some product. Somebody else rings you up in the cash register. And somebody else, if you've only had one glass of wine, brings you your car keys back. There's a lot of somebodies in the equation. But $182, you walk out of there feeling like the experience was worth $182 and 10 cents. It's the same dime. The dime represents added value. My challenge to you is going to be, what's your dime? Where are you finding the dime? How are you adding the dime to the equation? Are you with me? There's one more R we got to talk about. Near and dear and important to me. Are you ready?
Yeah.
The last R we're going to discuss tonight. R, and I'm going to write it in red because I feel powerful about it. R is for remit your taxes. Taxes!
I'm done.
You are going to charge money for haircuts. You are going to collect money. You are going to earn income. And you are going to report your income and pay your taxes. This is a conversation, especially in the barber market. People get a little squirrely. Hey, wait a minute. I thought this was a cash business. Hey, wait a minute. I thought this was going on under the table. Hey, wait a minute. I thought Uncle Sam wasn't going to know about this stuff. The world is changing. You better be ready. Here's the deal. 3 years. Sweden. In Northern Europe. They've already announced it. 2019. Sweden will be the first country in the world to eliminate money. There will be no more money in Sweden by 2019. They are eliminating cash and currency. In Sweden, you will pay for things with a credit card. You will pay for things with your phone. You will pay for things with your thumb, and you will pay for things with your eyeball, with a retinal scanner. The future is coming hard and fast.
Oh my God.
100% of your transactions will be online, will be recorded, will be accountable, and will be verifiable. The United States is only a little bit behind. They are predicting 2025, we're 10 years away. In 10 years, your career will just be starting. Your career will just be getting rolling in 10 years. 10 years from now, America will eliminate money. It's going away. And you got into this because you thought it was a cash business. Some of us already are taking credit cards on our phone with Square or with Pay Anywhere. I use the PayPal system with the slider on my telephone to take credit cards. If you do not take credit cards initially, we're only 2 or 3 years away. If you don't take credit cards in a barber shop, nobody's coming to your barber shop. How many people here are familiar with online appointment booking? People use paper. There's some great services out there. I represent Reserva. That's an online appointment booking service. Why do you think I represent that one? Reserva. R. It starts with an R. There's a couple others out there. There's Booksy, there's StyleSeat, there's Schedulicity. There's some are more expensive, some are more complicated, some are more simple, some are more targeted at the barber market. Online appointment booking is the future of our business. We're not that far away from the fact people will not book with you if they can't book online on their telephone at 3:30 in the morning when you're asleep. And you are not going to be able to pick up the telephone. Your value to your business is in delivering service to customers. Yeah, when you want to come in while you're cutting hair, like that ain't going to work. You got to let the machine take care of the administration. Administration is done by machines. One of the most exciting things to me is McDonald's. Y'all been to McDonald's lately? Get ready for it. They tested this in Chicago, in the Chicago suburbs, not far from where I live. They tested it almost 10 years ago. You know what McDonald's is doing? McDonald's is getting rid of the weak link in fast food. Who is the weak link in fast food? What is the weak link in fast food?
Employees.
It's the employees.
Yeah, the
employees
cashier.
make food just fine. The weak link is the girl behind or the guy behind the cash register. Do you know what they're doing at McDonald's? And this is primarily in response to the increase in the minimum wage. They raised the minimum wage to $15. You know what McDonald's said? McDonald's says, I cannot have a 99-cent value meal if I got to pay some kid $15 on the cash register. Do you know what they did with the cash register? They spun it around. You walk into McDonald's, it's like an ATM now, it's a kiosk. You know what? That girl that presses those buttons, I can press those buttons. I know what the cheeseburger button looks like. I know what the no onions button looks like, no pickle, large fries, and a diet. I know how to do that. I swipe my card through, it spits out a ticket. I walk over to the counter, there's a shelf with heat lamps and bags. I get ticket number 54, I look at the bags. I look at the, ooh, there's 54, and I'm good. They're getting rid of the employees. They're getting rid of the cash. They're getting rid of the equipment. The world is going to change. You must report your income, and you must pay your taxes. This is America. This is the land of the free and the home of the brave. And there are people, there are young people, just like you, dressed in desert camouflage in Iraq and Afghanistan, that are dodging incoming mortar fire on a daily basis so that you can live in America and cut hair. You see what's happening in France? All hell's breaking loose in Syria because they are fighting to protect the freedoms we enjoy. You want to cut hair for $30 a haircut in America? Pay taxes. Report your income. You want to buy a car? You're going to cut hair in this business. You're going to earn $70,000 a year, and you're going to put $12,000 on your tax return. And you're going to go down to the dealer when Ford's offering 1.9% financing, and you ain't getting a car loan because all your money's off the books. What do we want as people, as adults, and as parents? I've never met anybody from any other country. This is not the American dream. This is everybody's dream. We want our children to have a better life than we had in some way. We want to send them to college. Maybe an opportunity we didn't have. You want your kid to go to college? Fill out a financial aid form. You earned $65,000 last year and you reported 9. Fill out the form. Your kid's not going to college. You want to buy a house? You've been living in an apartment, you give them the man your rent money every single month. You want to build equity? You want to grow something for your future? You want to have something to leave your children? You earned $80,000 cutting hair last year, and you reported 12. You're not getting a home loan. You're not buying a house. You're living in an apartment for the rest of your life. This is America. Report your income and pay your taxes. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
It's not a conversation a lot of people want to have. It's not necessarily the way I want to end the program. So we got a few more minutes. I usually leave the last portion of the program for a little bit of Q&A. Anything anybody wants to talk about? Hit me. Business, haircutting, what do you got?
What's the world record you have?
What's the world record I have? Yeah, that's all right. I heard about that. Did you hear about that? Yeah. Anybody here fast at cutting hair? Anybody here quick? I'm quick. I'm quick. 1998, I broke the Guinness World Record for the fastest haircut in the world. I also broke the world record for the most haircuts in an hour. In 2000, I was the first person ever to set the record for the most haircuts in 24 hours nonstop without a break. I wrote a book called Clipperguy Says Time is Money. It tells the story of my world records and it shares my efficiency and productivity system. As I started traveling around the country, sharing my system with haircutters, helping them cut more hair, make more money, maintain quality and customer service, and live a better life, while I was busy doing that, some wise guy broke my records. And that pissed me off. Don't piss me off. August 23rd of 2008, exactly 10 years later, I broke all